Burmese junta for filthy money, profits from the oil and gas and minerals and gems which exist there in profusion. There's blood on those diamonds, there's blood in that oil, there's blood in the trade that's taking place between British companies and Burma. That's the reason why we have the right to say that the silence of William Hague, who's never done talking about Syria, every night he's talking about Syria, but he hasn't said one word about the massacre of Muslims in Burma. We expect that from the Tories. But what about the Liberal Democrats, the ones who tripled your tuition fees to £9,000 a year? What happened to them, the great champions of human rights? How come Nick Clegg has not said a word about this massacre? And even worse, much worse, we have a leader of a so-called Labour Party, Ed Miliband, who hasn't said a word about it either. My friends and I came from Bradford to this meeting today, and to there we now return. In Bradford we organised 2 days ago, 1 day ago, I'm losing track. We organised a massive rally in the Centenary Square in Bradford, to which thousands came. So successful was it that the politicians of the other parties were clamouring to get on the platform with us. We welcome that, as long as that's sincere. There's no partisan, party or sectional interest for us in this. But if we are the only people, raising this around this country, we will continue to do so because it is right. Now I close where I started. Muslim blood is cheap in this world, and one of the reasons why is because the Muslim leaders are happy for it to be cheap. The so-called OIC is meeting now in Saudi Arabia. It contains countries that represent hundreds of millions of people. It contains the richest countries in the world. If you lined up the Muslim armies, navies and air forces, if you lined them up one after the other, they would be a formidable, even fearsome sight. It's up to them, principally, to say to the Burmese junta and to its Western friends that if this massacre does not stop, you will have to face us. You will have to deal with us.
Nare Takbir! Nare Takbir!
It's up to the Muslim governments to say there will be no business as usual with us as long as our co-religionists are being slaughtered in Burma. There will be no business as usual with us as long as you, the Western countries, are supporting by your silence this great crime. 800,000 Muslims in Burma currently have no protector at all. Neither the Muslim governments in their region nor the Muslim governments gathered in Saudi Arabia this week in the OIC. They're too busy plotting more Muslims to kill other Muslims. Well, it's time that they stood up to defend the defenseless Muslims in Burma. That's what we say in any case. I wish you all the best given the weather that there has been this afternoon. I'm astonished that so many of you have come, but the campaign cannot end here. We have to use every means at our disposal. On YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, we must be active over and over again. And to those who say, as some have said on Twitter, what's the point in protesting here? What can we do to influence events in Burma? There's two things to say to that. If we'd taken that attitude, apartheid would still be ruling in South Africa, and the fascist military juntas in Latin America would still be in power. We have a duty to take civic action where we can in this relatively free country. But a second reason I address to the believers here, all of us are answerable on the last day for what we did and what we did not do. At least we will be able to say that when this slaughter was taking place, we raised our voice against it, we are ready to raise our hand against it, and we cry from our hearts against it. This is our creed, this is our belief. And even if we are all there is, and I assure you we are not, then it's still our duty to stand up for what is right. I wish you all well these last days of Ramadan, and wish you a blessed Eid when it comes. Wassalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.